Okay, a couple of announcements. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Ira. Welcome. Thanks for coming. All right, let's start with the nitty-gritty. Parking along the road. 10 miles per hour. Only on the road. No smoking in or around the dining hall. And there is a smoking area? That's a question. Smoking area is that way. 15 miles that way. Go out, make a left, make another left, go straight. 15 miles. If there is a smoking area, I personally don't know. But if you guys care, because you to find some light. I have come not to teach, but to awaken. Understand, therefore, that I laid down no precepts. Throughout eternity, I have laid down principles and precepts, but mankind has ignored them. Man's inability to live God's words makes the Avatar's teaching a mockery. Instead of practicing the compassion he taught, man has waged crusades in his name. Instead of living the humility, purity, and truth of his words, man has given way to hatred, greed, and violence. Because man has been deaf to the principles and precepts laid down by God in the past, in this present avataric form, I observe silence. You have asked for and been given enough words. It is now time to live them. To get nearer and nearer to God, you have to get further and further away from I, my, me, and mine. You have not to renounce anything but your own self. It is as simple as that. Though found to be almost impossible, it is possible for you to renounce your limited self by my grace. I have come to release that grace. I repeat, I lay down no precepts. When I release the tide of truth which I have come to give, men's daily lives will be the living precept. The words I have not spoken will come to life in them. I veil myself from man by his own curtain of ignorance and manifest my glory to a few. My present avataric form is the last incarnation of this cycle of time. Hence, my manifestation will be the greatest. When I break my silence, the impact of my love will be universal, and all life in creation will know, feel, and receive of it. It will help every individual to break himself free from his own bondage in his own way. I am the divine beloved who loves you more than you can ever love yourself. The breaking of my silence will help you to help yourself in knowing your real self. All this world, confusion and chaos was inevitable, and no one is to blame. What had to happen has happened, and what has to happen will happen. There was and is no way out except through my coming in your midst. I had to come, and I have come. I am the Ancient One. J. Bob. I don't know what's happening next. I know eventually there's music, there's Bhau, there's a movie. Okay, there's a movie, and on the screen.
He's in agriculture, laws, accounting, possibly chemistry. I can't keep track of them all. And he never particularly wanted to traverse the spiritual path, but then he met Mayor Baba and was totally smitten. And now he, to use the cyber term, he's spent more face time with the prophet, the avatar, than any other human being on earth. And despite the fact of his intellectual brilliance, he keeps emphasizing over and over again the importance of the heart, of listening to the heart and deciding with the heart rather than the mind. And he never wanted to be a writer or a poet either, and he ended up writing a 20-volume biography of Meher Baba, many books on the spiritual past, and many books of poetry. And I'm going to read one of them. It's in a form called a ghazal, and then Elaine Cox is going to sing another song. Baba gave you those words, right? Yes. And actually this song came to his rescue when he was on tour in Kamipur, was it? Kamipur. Anyway, this poem is called Just 84 Births. Oh Meher, if it pleases you, I request you to please make a little change in your divine plan. No one should have more than 84 births in human form instead of 8,400,000. Oh beloved, it is a fact that you feel fed up with your game of creation. Why don't you just suspend it for a long time so that you may have some leisure? Oh beloved, there is no doubt that you are infinite intelligence. Why don't you make certain changes in your plan so that you won't have to suffer infinitely all the time for creation? Oh beloved, it is true that no one has the right to suggest anything to you, even the perfect masters. But if I suggest anything to you out of my ignorance, I do it in order to make room for you to forgive me. Oh compassionate one, people think that I don't follow your wish as it ought to be followed, and they are perfectly right. But I have so much faith in your compassion that I forget what to do and what not to do. Oh ancient one, you appear on earth age after age in different garb, and therefore it is difficult to recognize you. Can't you not appear in the same garb so that humanity may recognize you at once? Oh Bhau, your ignorance is making noise and you are not aware of it. Become the dust under the feet of the beloved and see how silent you become. Jai Bhau.
This is one of Bhau's favorite songs, and I think we all know it. You can all pick it up and follow it. You've all sung it many times. We sing it at the Samadhi. Sachidananda Paramananda Meher Baba Vigyananda Sachidananda Paramananda Meher Baba Vigyananda 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 Sachidananda Paramananda Meher Baba Vigyananda Sachidananda Paramananda Meher Baba Vigyananda Meher Baba Vigyananda Meher Baba Vigyananda Meher Baba Vigyananda
Since Bhau wants an announcement, without further ado, Bhau Kalchuri. Is this light too bright? Is this light too bright?
This year, I was not to come, and the doctors, they wanted that I should not visit the West, and not only West but also places in India, and I accepted. But then at 11th hour, I changed my mind because I got inner prompting, and I am here today. Now this year, what I have started, that wherever I go, I just invite questions. Because if I say anything, I may go on talking and talking. But what do you need? What do you want? Actually, I want to know from you all. So I just request you, without any hesitation, you may ask anything. You are all my brothers and sisters. And I have come in love heart the beloved, and it is my duty to hear you, not to feel bad about anything. And that's why I request you, just say out.
How did you come to meet Meher Baba?
How did I come to meet Meher Baba? Now this is a long story.
Who asked that question?
So if I tell you long, then you will feel uneasy because the program will be long.
Not at all.
But if you permit me the time, so that I will tell. What do you think?
Yes. Yes.
Everyone says yes. And who says no? No one. All there. So I have to take. Actually, I did not come to Meher Baba. He came to me. I was not interested in spirituality, rather I did not know what was spirituality. I was interested in my studies. And I was in college. I was doing my studies, different courses I had taken. And courses, you will see, you will think that this madman, what? Such courses, of course, nobody could take. Because first I took agriculture. Then, of course, I changed and I took science, chemistry. Then, of course, public administration, arts, and law. I would go to law college in the morning, come back at 11 o'clock, then go to attend the chemistry class up to 3 o'clock, and 3 to 6 public administration. And at night I would study. There was no time, just only studies. Even games, I will not be able to take part in games because all the time studies. But then one day just a thought came in my mind, and I did not know that Baba was working. A thought came in my mind that what I am doing all this, taking degrees after degrees, but I never thought what I would do. I must decide first what I have to do in my life, and then accordingly study, it is all right. And this thought made change in my life. I was thinking what to do now. So there is in Nagpur, I was in Nagpur University. So there is a tomb of Tajuddin Baba, one of the perfect masters. And because I was not interested in spirituality or any Baba, so I never went there. But my brother-in-law, he was the follower of Tajuddin Baba. So he would come every week, he would be living in another place, 26 miles from Nagpur. Every week he would come and he would pay his homage to Tajuddin Baba's tomb. And after this thought, he also knew that I was not interested. But one day he came after this thought and he said, I am going there and I am all alone today. Will you come with me? And I said, I am not interested. You go. He said, I am all alone today. So please just come. He insisted. So I went along with him. And in India, when you go to meet any master or you go to any tomb of the master, then you take flowers, fruits, sweets to offer. So my brother-in-law took, but I was not interested. I did not take anything. Now we both went there and I saw there was a big crowd and people were standing in a queue and they were going into the tomb. And because I was not interested, I just stood in a corner like this. and people looked at me and they thought that this is disrespect to the master. So they would just look at me at grave face, making grave face like this. And I saw that, I thought that now I'm in a bad plight. My brother-in-law brought me here, and now these people, they don't like my behavior. What wrong I am doing? I am not doing anything wrong. I am not saying anything. I am just standing here to pass time. But then, of course, I thought that now these people, they don't like, so I must also stand in a queue. So I stood in a queue and they were very happy. Now, everyone would enter and they would bow down. I was observing. So I said, if I don't do that again, they would not like it. So I'm not going to lose anything. So I must also bow down. So I bowed down, and without any thought, just a voice came from my heart. If you are real, show me the way. And I came back, nothing happened. But then I felt restless, I could not sleep whole night. Then of course, during daytime also I was restless. 2-3 days I was restless. I stopped going to college. And in college, of course, my head of the Department of Public Administration, he loved me very much. So he was curious because I was a very regular student, he would like me. And when I did not go to college 3-4 days, so he came to see me. And he saw me and he said, what happened to you? Are you sick? Why you are not going to college? I said, I don't know. I feel very restless. My brother-in-law took me to the tomb of Tajuddin Baba. And now I don't know what happened. I am just feeling restless. So he says to me, I cannot help you in this matter. But I know there is one Swami. He is in Rishikesh. He has big ashram. And of course, people go there and he of course solves problems. So if you write to him, he may help you. So I took down his address. And then of course, I decided to go there. But then I was feeling restless what to do. So there is Gandhi ashram in one place called Sevagram. So I went there. And then of course this dry spirituality. They were just using that tribe. And of course I was there for 2 days. I did not like at all. Mechanical. So that I did not like. And I came back. Still I was observing fast for 21 days. 3 days without water. And then of course afterwards I would drink water, but 21 days. And then of course still I was restless. So there was ashram of Swami Ramakrishna Paramhans in Nagpur. So I went to that ashram and met the head Swami. And he asked me to read the books written about Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa. So I read all the books and I would read. The books I like very much because it was written about the master. But still I was restless. I had written to that Swami the letter and I was waiting for that. So I got the reply. And in that reply he said that you come here on such and such date. So I thought that if I go there and if that Swami would ask me to live there permanently, so I must go with that preparation. And therefore I must inform my brothers and my mother. My father expired when I was 8 years old. And then it appears in newspaper that Meher Baba is coming. I said, who is this Meher Baba? Of course I don't know anything about him. My head of the department, he has told me about this Swami. So I must go there. So I went to my village to inform my brothers and my mother that I am leaving for good. And then afterwards I came back after a week. And again it appears in newspaper that Meher Baba is coming. I said, when he is coming, he was to come on such and such date. And what happened to him? I missed that date, I went there. What happened? So I just took out old papers. Yes, he was to come on certain date there. And I was not there. I said, when he is coming, he must have changed the date. So I must go and see him. So he went to the place first where my brother-in-law was living, 26 miles from Nagpur. The place, the name was Saunir. Now I got down at the station and what I find that there was a big crowd. There was orange market. Nagpur is very famous for orange. Very famous, good quality orange. So big market, and there was a big crowd. And I asked, what is going on there? He said, Meher Baba is giving his darshan. So I thought, why not to have his darshan to see him, and then afterwards I would go to my brother-in-law. So I went there. From a distance I saw Baba on the stage. What to see? As soon as I saw his smile, so sweet, but at the same time, from that sweet smile, he was just shooting the arrow. And that arrow, of course I felt in my heart. And I was attracted. And they had made such an arrangement that people should sit there and crawl in a queue. So without any hesitation, I sat down. And that was the place where people knew me. So one person came running and he says to me, why are you sitting here on the dust and the sun is there, why are you sitting? Your brother-in-law is a member of the assistant committee, afterwards he will take you. So why are you sitting? I said, please don't disturb me. And he got a shock. He never thought that I would act like this, because everyone knew that I was not interested in such thing. So he left me. And I was looking at Baba. When anyone would go to Baba, he would stand up and Baba would smile at him and give one banana as prasad. To some, of course, he give a pat and give banana. When my turn came, I stood up, but he gave me banana and looking this side, making some gesture to someone, and I was pushed away. But as soon as I reached there, I felt that I must join him. And I became so mad that banana without peeling the skin. The whole banana I ate. Whole banana. And then those people who were just standing near Baba, I was just thinking that they must be near with Baba. So I would say that, are you with Baba? Yes, yes, what do you want? I said that I want to say something to Baba. No, private interview not possible. You had Baba's darshan, now go. Nobody helped. But there was one person, he had come from Andhra, south of India. So he says, what do you want? And I said that I want to say something to him. He said, look here, I'm not with Baba. I've come from south of India. Baba permitted me, and Baba is coming to Andhra. So if you come there, I can arrange your interview with Baba, because I am the member of reception committee. So I said, all right, I will come. I took down the address. But then again I was trying, but nobody helped me. And when in the evening Baba was going to the place where he was residing at that time, and when I saw him, it was as if my heart is going. My heart is going, and I was really restless. I went to my brother-in-law. I could not sleep whole night. And in the morning at about 4 a.m., I thought I must find out the place where Baba is residing. There may be some possibility that I may be able to meet him. So when I was going, my sister got up and she said, where are you going? I said that I'm going for a walk. She said, I also want to go for a walk. They had become all suspicious about me. Actually, because when I started observing fast and this, going here and there, and stopped going to college, so that something is there so doubtful. So then she said, I want also to go for a walk. So I had to take her for a walk. And then when I returned, then she said that, where are you going? I said, I have to go to college, so I must go to Nagpur. She said, no, then take breakfast. I said, I have no time. Just give me a cup of tea and I will go. She did, and I went. I went and then found out the place where Baba was staying. And at the gate, there was one man strong with long stick in his hand. What do you want? I said, I just want to say something to Meher Baba. No, interview is not possible. At 3 o'clock, darshan is there. At that time you come. I said, but please just go and tell Baba. No, I am not allowed to go and tell him. Or anyone, no one is allowed to go there. No interview, nothing. So then I went ahead and found that man who was going back to Andhra. Bus station I went. And he says that you come and definitely I will arrange your interview. But I have also a problem. I said, what is the problem? He says, my son, he wants Baba's garland and I cannot go there. So I said, give me a note and I may try because I had gone there. I know where Baba is staying. So he wrote a note and gave to me and I went there. That man on watch, he said, again you have come? I said, I brought this note. One person, he has come from Andhra and his son wants to get a garland from Baba. So he has written a note. So at least give this note to Baba. He said, yes, I will give, but you stand here. I was standing there and he was going and he would look behind as if I was following him. But then I remained there and he went, gave that note and brought the garland of rose and handed over to me. Now the madness, what to see. When I was taking that garland, the petals would fall on the street and I would pick up those petals and I would eat. And then I went to the bus station, gave that garland to that man and he said that you come on such and such date to my place and definitely I will arrange your interview. I said, all right. Then at 3 o'clock, again there was darshan program, but more people. It is just, Baba would not meet people. He would not meet. He came in 1952 here. So many visits he made to America. And he had said that America needs my blood. And I will shed my blood there. So from 31 to 37, 11 times, 11 visits he paid. And then he did not come. And in 1952, he came here, met with an accident in Oklahoma, and then returned. And for the first time, he started meeting people. First time, people did not know. Only when Baba would go, it would be Meher Baba is coming. And thousands of people everywhere, thousands and thousands. How they would come, they did not know. If, of course, our IRA, he goes anywhere and says, IRA is coming, whether thousands and thousands of people will come. IRA, if you give in newspaper that IRA is coming and you would meet people, whether thousands and thousands of people will come, just try it once. No. But it happened. So what happens when the lamp is there? Mass need no invitation. Mass need no information. Just they see the lamp and they just run after the lamp. And same thing happened at that time. 50,000, 60,000, 80,000, 90,000 in every place. And you just go continuously from one place to another. And of course, in every place so many people would come. So then of course, next day, again I went, sit on the ground, crawling, and when I reached, he did not look at me. He was making sign and handed over the banana and I was pushed away. What happened? I'm not a good person. I thought I'm not a good person and that's why Baba looks at everyone, he smiles he gives pat, but he does not look at me. So I was just feeling what to do now. Second day also I could not meet him. Third day, of course he went to Nagpur and I followed him. And big darshan program in Nagpur. Fortunately, I was contacting persons who were with Baba, but nobody was there. Those who were with Baba, they would not come at that time. People would not be able to know that these are the persons with Baba. Always other person, new persons would be there. Not the Mandi members, those who were with Baba. And I did not know. So I was asking this one and that one. But this time, fortunately, I contacted one person. Later on, I came to know that he was a leper. Baba would contact so many lepers. He would wash their feet and bow down to them, give them present. Some of course would give bath also. Who were leper, he was a leper. And he was the only leper cured by Baba. I did not know, afterwards I came to know. So I said, are you with Baba? He says, yes, what do you want? I said, I want to say something to him. What is that something? I said, I want to be with him. What do you do? He started taking interview. And when I passed in his interview, then of course he went to Baba and he told him about me. And Baba said that just tell him to come and see me at 4 o'clock, exactly at 4 o'clock, because I have got another program, so I would not be there. So where I am residing at that time, he should come at 4 o'clock, because other programs are also there, and after 4 again I would be going out. So he comes and tells me that Baba wants you to come and see him exactly at 4, not a minute later, not a minute earlier. So all right. So I went 5 minutes early, but I was hiding myself. And exactly at 4, I appeared in the at the gate, and Baba had already given instruction. So that man who was on watch, he did not say, who are you? And I said, I am so and so. And he said, yes, come. And he took me. And I saw Baba. And he says, don't bow down to me. Just sit down. Just sit down. And he says, what do you want? I said, I want to be with you. Will you obey me? I did not know what is obedience, but I said yes. So there was one person from Nagpur. He says to me, he says to Baba, Baba, he must know what is obedience. And Baba says he knows better than what you do. So he kept quiet. And Baba says, all right. Will you obey me? Whatever I say, will you obey? I said, yes. If I ask you to become naked and go for begging in this locality, will you be able to do it? I said, yes. Baba says, begin. And when he said begin, so I stood up and started taking out my clothes, and he said, sit down. And then Baba said that now what are you doing? I said, I am in final years for these subjects. when is the examination? I said, about 2 months. Will you obey me 100%? I said, yes, I will appear for the examination. And when the examination is over, you just come and join me anywhere at that time I may be. You just come to that place and join me permanently. So then according to his instruction, of course, but I asked permission from him to visit Andhra for 15 days. And he gave me permission. So I went to Andhra. I was with him 15 days. And then he said, don't forget what you had asked me for. Just remember, wherever I am at that time, the day your examination is over, you come. So I appeared there, then I came back, and then appeared, of course studied, and then appeared for the examination. And the day examination was over, I went to him and joined him in Mussoorie in Himalaya. He was there at that time. So and since that time, of course, I am with him continuously. And I was just ordinary night watchman. Night watchman. They say writer and books I have written, but I was doing night duty. After many years, my college principal of one college, he came all of a sudden when we were in Pune, and he came to see Meher Baba. Somebody must have told him. So he came, and I was keeping watch. So he comes in taxi, and I was with Baba, and Baba says, just go and see who has come. So I went there, one man, after many years. So I went back and I said that, Baba, he looks like my principal of the college. Your principal? Just ask him to sit, and just ask him that where he is staying, and tell him that I am just retired today. Tomorrow in the morning he should come. So I said that, are you Dr. Asthana? He says, yes. Who are you? He also could not recognize me. So I am Kalchuri. What do you do here? I said, I am a night watchman. Night watchman? He was very much amazed to hear this. That night watchman, because he knew that I was brilliant doing different courses and I wanted to have further studies. And then I became night watchman. So he was very much surprised, amazed. Night watchman? I said, yes, but Dr. Asthana, where are you staying? He says, Aga Khan Palace. So I went and told Baba. And the taxi left. So Baba says, tell him that come tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I will see him. But he is your principal. You send him in our car because his taxi has left. So send him in the car. So I said, Dr. Asthana, Baba will see you tomorrow, but now you go. And Baba has asked me to send you in his car. No, I can walk down the distance. I said, Aga Khan Palace, it is far away. So why should you walk down? Of course, Baba has asked you to go in the car. No, I will walk down, I want to walk. And he just left. And I told Baba that Baba, he wanted to walk and he went walking. Baba said, you are principal? He came and you did not give him car? You should have sent him in car. It is no good. why Baba was insisting, the next day I came to know. So next day at 8 o'clock, so many persons came along with him. So many persons. They were all the principal of different colleges from India. There was one conference for that purpose he had come. And as soon as he came to Baba, he says, Baba, I now know. You know everything. I realize you know everything. Baba embraced him, embraced everyone. And Baba says, I know how. Yes, that knowledge does not think, knowledge knows. That knowledge is such knowledge that it never thinks what has happened billions and billions and billions years before. Knowledge knows now. What will happen after billions and billions and billions years? Knowledge knows now. And that is knowledge. Knowledge does not think, knowledge knows. And then afterwards, they were going out. So in one of the principals, I asked that where are you staying? He says, in the hotel near railway station, Wellesley Hotel. And Dr. Asthana, he is also with us. And then of course I could know he was not in Aga Khan Palace, he was in the hotel. And that's why he said, no, I will walk down the distance. And that's why when he came to Baba, he said, Baba, you know everything I don't know. I realized. So that is my story. How I joined Baba. Actually, I never thought that I would take up this life. Rather, I did not know. You all have come. Also, nobody knows. You may be knowing that, oh, how I came to Baba. Everyone, of course, has different stories. And they are right. All of you are right. But in reality, no one knows how what comes to him. It is he who brings. It is he who brings. He is the one, of course, he has to, why he comes down on earth age after age. What is the need? What is the need? Bible is there, Quran is there, Vedas are there, Gita is there. The words of truth. In Bible you just find the words of truth. In Gita, of course Quran there is words of truth. In Gita or Vedas you will find the words of truth. So why he comes down again and again on earth? What is the need? Because when he comes down, he creates awareness towards God. That awareness, whatever he says, do this and do that, then of course his wish he expresses. And according to that, of course, but then wish afterwards becomes ritual and ceremony. We just follow ritual and ceremony in every religion. Rituals are there, ceremonies are there, and you just follow thinking that you are following God. God is ignored, and rituals and ceremonies are just accepted. So, and because of that ignorance goes on growing, and you ignore God. So he has to come down again, just to clean that in order to just clean that ignorance to a certain extent, so that you may get awareness towards God and follow God in real sense. You also feel the love. So he has to come back again Again and again he comes back age after age, and he will not stop, because he is the only one who is in charge of creation. He has to do his duty, but we fail in doing our duty towards him. And that's why he comes. And he comes and he suffers. Suffers and suffers and suffers. No one knows. No one has any idea about his suffering. Jesus, he was crucified. The one who would give life to the dead. One who gave sight to the blind. And he was crucified. Could he not save himself? But that is the glory of Lord. Why did he do that? He just took upon the burden, the cross. Now the cross, it is just a cross. What do you feel when you see the cross? Do you remember the Lord wholeheartedly? That what he has done, what he was crucified, what we did when he came. No one just thinks about this. Just words talk about this. Oh, Jesus, of course, he was crucified. Crucified for whom? How he suffered and suffered. No one knows. No one knows. Cross, yes, you can say just crucified. But whether anyone has anything, the remembrance of the Lord, this world nothing, we must follow the Lord, follow him. But our low desires, we are bound by those desires and we forget him. And we just follow mechanically. And because of that, the ignorance again grows. And we forget the Lord. And that's why he has to come. He is the one who is responsible for the creation. His responsibility. What is your responsibility, Radhabai, do you know? What is your responsibility?
Remember Baba.
Remember Baba now. What is your responsibility? Responsibility is that when we take birth, the responsibility comes automatically. You bring the responsibility, the impressions of past life. You bring those impressions. That is your responsibility to spend them. But you don't know your duty how to spend those impressions, because you don't know the impressions. Can you see your impressions? No. What is the impressions? What impressions you bring? All this is nothing. Everyone, the mold of past impressions. Mold. So mold differs from person to person. And that's why impressions, everyone has different impressions. And according to the impressions, of course, this mold is there. Face, different face. Everyone has different face. Newborn, they also have different face. Not the same face. Different. Everyone. Just go on, because everyone has different impressions. And those impressions we have to spend. But we don't know the impressions. And we don't know. That is the responsibility. And the duty is to just spend those impressions according to his wish. But wish then become the rituals, ceremonies. And then we just follow rituals and ceremonies. So those impressions, they are not wiped out. We just spend them and collect new impressions. Now people will say that there is no reincarnation. And they are right. They are not wrong. Soul does not take birth. Soul does not die. where is the question of reincarnation? But reincarnation is there in the dream. We are dreaming. And we are dreaming, so of course, for that purpose, of course, reincarnation is there. Why the dream has come? What is the reason that we are caught up by the dream? The dream is there so that soul should know what is the soul. The soul should know itself, and that's why this conscious become conscious of itself. God should become conscious of himself, and that's why this dream is there. But the dream, long dream, and in this long dream there are so many dreams. We just go on seeing one dream after another dream. It just goes on, and dream is false, so reincarnation is also false. And that's why it is said that there is no reincarnation. Actually, there is no reincarnation, only reincarnation is in dream. But we pass through the dream, we see different dreams. And one day, why we see different dreams? One day to wake up from this dream. Wake up, and when you wake up, you know who you are. That is the goal of life. Tomorrow, I will just tell you about today. Some persons had come to me, and I have given promise that tomorrow I will just tell them about Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit. Today I will not, because tomorrow there are many people, they have not come. Tomorrow they will come. So it is really good. Just we must know, because what we think that Father, Son, always Holy Ghost always. Where is Holy Ghost? In the sky. No one knows. And the priest class always, if you ask, don't ask this. This is secret. Holy Spirit, secret, don't ask. So, of course, mechanical things are going on. This priest class in every religion, they make the religion as rituals and ceremonies. Actually, any religion, when it is created, it serves as a river. And river, where the river ends, it meets the ocean. So its ending is in the ocean. But we see that all the rivers are dry, sand, and nothing else. How can you flow? And that's why Baba has said that I will just flood the rivers. And when the rivers are flooded, you would not think about this religion or that religion. You will just go towards the ocean straight away. There is no obstruction. So for that's why now this message, I read that message in the beginning. That is that message. No precept, nothing. He has not given anything. While observing silence, he has given many words, but no precept. Do this and do that. No, nothing. And all this priest class, of course, they forget the essence, the love for God. No. And love, it is not that anyone can create love. Only it is the grace of God. So when it becomes mechanical through rituals and ceremonies, then of course we cannot proceed further. this is the situation that where we were, we are there still, and we will be unless the river is flooded. So river, we have to wait, and it will happen because he came down in order to manifest. Now you just say, now how he will manifest? When he has dropped his body, how will it be manifest? How Jesus manifested. He was crucified, world forgot him. And how the world accepted him? How? Who did that work? He himself was doing that work. It does not require body. Body, so long body is required, of course, he maintained the body. Afterwards, of course, and that is the Holy Spirit. He remains in that form and active. So tomorrow I will tell them, you may ask as many questions as you like. And now it is finished your answer. Your question?
Yes.
Or another question?
My daughter has a question for you. But
Yes.
But I'm gonna ask you because she's shy.
Yes. Ask her.
She wants to know when the master is on earth, in the world, who takes care of the rest of the world?
He takes. He himself takes. It is not that he is always here and now. Always here and now. And that here, you cannot, it is infinite. Here and now. So he is the only one who takes care. So he takes care. Whether he comes down from there, where? Paradise is in you. Everyone has the paradise within herself or himself. But we forget it is thousands of times in our heart, distance, no distance there. It is so, our breathing, so we breathe, but it is closer than our very breath, thousands of closer than our breath. He is your very life. So he does not just come down from the sky. He is always there. We are not conscious. Why this creation took place? Creation is there in order to know oneself that who am I? That is, it takes my care. Takes my care when in LA, I was that boxing match I wanted. And that one, of course, very, very strong. And he appeared on the stage and I was there. He was weeping and he came to me and he got hold of my hand. No, don't do that. And then what happened?
I said, I'll help you.
No, but then what happened when boxing match was there?
You won the match.
See? And then he was very happy. So he is always here and now. That now is eternal and infinite. Infinity, of course, I just give one example. Yesterday, I think somewhere I told, but again I repeat. When Baba was giving this his darshan in 1952. So he was in Delhi. And of course, many people, thousands of people came. And the same thing, they would come in a queue and he would give one banana to each. For hours together, no message, no discourse, nothing. Now one lady had come, many lady, but particular lady. She came and Baba gave her banana and she left. Now she goes home and she tells her husband, that why don't you go and see Meher Baba? He was a scientist. He says, why should I go? What is the need for me to go and see him? He says, as a man, of course, no. I cannot believe in such thing. I am a scientist. I cannot believe. When you went, of course, I did not ask you not to go. I have permitted you. But you, why you are asking me to go? You see, now this man will not accept. So he says, do you love me? He says, of course I love you. Is there any doubt? So she says, my love demands that you go and see Meher Baba. Now the scientist could not say anything. Love demands. So next day, of course, he came and he was standing in a queue, cursing his wife, thinking that my wife illiterate, she does not know anything. Now I am a scientist and she does not believe in me and she believes in Meher Baba. What is there in him? So I know so many things. So cursing and cursing, 2-3 hours he was standing in the sun. And then of course he approached Baba. And Baba gave him one banana and he was pushed away. See how illiterate my wife is. For this banana she sent me here. And I stood in a queue for 3 hours. Had she told me, I would have gone to market and purchased dozens of bananas. For this one banana, I was standing in a queue 3 hours in the sun. So he was not happy when he went home. The wife asked, did you see Meher Baba? Of course I saw him. What did he give? This banana, take this. She said, no, it is for you. He said, I don't want this. I don't want this, you take. She says, my love demands that you must eat. So then of course he had to eat. And then he ate and then whole night he could not sleep. Whole night he could not sleep. During daytime he was very restless. What is going on here? So in the evening he went to a doctor and he said, doctor, I feel very restless. Please just examine me and give me something so that I may be able to sleep. So he examined and he gave him sleeping pills. And he says, you take at bedtime. He did it. And then hardly 1 hour he could sleep. And then again he was awake, restless. 2-3 days he was restless. So again he went to another doctor. And he said that one doctor, of course, I went to him and he prescribed this, but I am very, very restless. These pills do not help me. So please just see my health and then give me prescribe good medicine. He also examined him and gave stronger pills. And at bedtime he took hardly 2 hours he slept. And then again restless. Next day, of course, he was restless. He says, this Meher Baba must have mixed something with that banana. And that's why it is happening. So he wrote a letter to Baba saying that I want to see you. scientist. I want to see you, so please give me time. And Baba accepted. Baba was not meeting anyone after this program, but he permitted him. So he came along with his wife, and there was one professor of college and his wife. And Baba, there are two places at Baba's place. One is called Mehrabad and another is called Mehrazad. So Mehrazad is a place, residence place of Baba. So Baba sent instruction to the one who was taking care of Mehrabad, that some persons are coming to Mehrabad, just see that good food for them and comfortable beds will be there. And he made the arrangement. Now the principal comes along with 3 others. At night they ate and they slept. Next day Baba comes in the morning. And when he came, of course he embraced everyone and they were sitting there. And Baba says, Principal Niranjan Singh, did you sleep last night? He said, no Baba, I could not sleep. Why? The food was not good. It was very delicious. The bed was not comfortable. It was very comfortable. Then why did you not sleep? He says, I've got one problem. What is that problem? He says, God is infinite. So infinite God, how is it possible for infinite God to be in this body? And Baba says, it is a very scientific question. Scientific question. Infinite God, how is it possible for infinite God to be in this body? Really scientific question. And I am not a scientist. To make research and also some experiments, you will come to know. He was just thinking that Mayor Baba would not be able to reply this question. So Baba asked the monthly members, do you know the answer? No Baba. Baba says, such questions nobody asked me. Only this scientist he has asked. And I am also wondering, infinite God, how is it possible for infinite God to be in this body? Don't worry, you are a scientist, do some experiment. And then he thought that Meher Baba would not be able to reply my question. And all of a sudden Baba says, Principal Niranjan Singh, what do you see on the road? So he looks and he says that buses are going, trucks are going. Oh, you can see? Yes, I can see. And can you see anything beyond this road? Yes, I can see. He was looking, there are fields and the farmers are ploughing the field. Oh, you can see? Yes, I can see very clearly. Can you see anything beyond the fields? And he looks. Ah, yes, Baba, there is one hill. And what is there? There is something, one temple is there. And what else? He says, animals are also grazing. Can you see? He says, yes. How far must be the temple from here? He says, about a mile. And you can see? He says, yes, I can see. How do you see? With my eyes. How big are your eyes? I got the answer. Baba says, still you have not got the answer. As a scientist, of course, small eyes, and you just see the things at a distance. You can see. But this is not the answer. Infinite God. How infinite God is in this body, you have not got the answer. Now this is the glass sphere. Gross sphere, you see that there is time, there is space there, and there are forms. Forms, time and space. You can just, your mind, of course, it does not take time to create space. You just think about America, you are here, and mind does not take any time to reach America. A thought comes and you just think about America, you just see. So mind is, and this mind, it is just, can you see mind, your mind? No. So this consciousness which you have, this consciousness, it is the gross consciousness. And gross consciousness creates space. But beyond this, there is subtle world. And subtle world holds this gross world, gross sphere. How big that subtle world must be? He says, when it holds gross world, it must be bigger than this world. Baba says, when I put one pinpoint here, whether it is subtle or gross, he says, gross. So Baba says, how can you say that subtle world, of course, bigger than this? Subtle world, not bigger, but it holds this gross world. Why? Because that consciousness, subtle consciousness holds this gross world. And then this gross world, of course, very big. There is space. In subtle world, there is no space. And still it holds this gross world, the consciousness. Can you imagine that consciousness? No. When you lose the consciousness of this gross world, then space and enter into subtle world, there will be no space. But it holds this gross world. Beyond that, there is mental world. So mental world, through subtle consciousness, you cannot find, cannot experience the mental world. It is in everyone, but you cannot. When you experience mental world, which mental world holds this subtle world and gross world. And of course, even through subtle consciousness, you cannot imagine the mental world. And beyond that is God, infinite consciousness. So that infinite consciousness, can you say your consciousness, how big or small? This gross consciousness, how big or how small? But just see the flight of this gross consciousness. You just in gross sphere, you can think about anything, you can imagine. But in subtle, there is no imagination of gross world. Through gross imagination, you cannot think about subtle world. In mental consciousness, through subtle consciousness, you cannot imagine mental world. And through mental consciousness, you cannot imagine the infinite consciousness, God. And that's why God holds everything. This mental world, subtle world, and gross world. So that infinite consciousness is in everyone. And we have come in creation to experience that infinite consciousness. And one day, definitely, whether you want it or you don't want it, you will have it. That is definitely. And for this purpose, we have come in creation. Now, any question? Yes.
In each dream, we have impressions, and then those impressions we act out in the next dream and acquire more. And is it only by Meher Baba that we can lose those impressions?
Meher Baba, this is just the name.
Yeah.
Infinite consciousness.
Yeah.
Meher Baba is active infinite consciousness. Jesus, the same one. What Meher Baba is, Jesus was the same. Only name. Tomorrow, when I tell you why name is changed, why not the same one, the ancient one, when he comes, why not the same name? What is the reason? Why does he change name? Tomorrow I will tell. So this dream, of course, just like now you see one dream at night, and in the dream you think that you are a queen, big queen, holding big empire. Now what happens in the dream, of course, you just enjoy because you are a queen. So you enjoy all comfort, this, everything in the dream. But then you don't take care of the people. That is your duty. But you just enjoy. So there is a small king is sitting there in the dream. He's sitting there, this king thinks this queen, of course, very big queen, big army, everything is big, but she enjoys all comforts, it is all right. But what is her duty? Duty is to look after the people. She is not doing that. So he writes, a small king writes a letter, very polite, humble letter, loving letter to this queen, that it is good that you are enjoying all comforts, it is good, there is nothing wrong, but you must also look after the people because they are suffering. Now in the dream, this queen receives this letter and reads, and she says, who is this? This man, of course, I can crush him in no time. He gives me advice. So she writes very rude letter to him, saying that if you dare to give me advice, I can crush you in no time. Now this king receives this letter, and he thinks that now I cannot wage war against this queen because she has big army. So of course, even if I fight, I will be killed. But then he thinks that now what is the way? If for the people, sake of the people, if I fight and I am killed, it is all right. I am doing for the people. So he wages war against this queen. And queen has big army and fight begins. And of course, he is very much determined. And small army, but every soldier is determined. So fight begins and they fight, and then this queen finds that most of her soldiers were killed. Now, if this king, if he catches me, he will kill me. It is better to run away from this war. So she takes one horse and goes faster and faster and faster. And what happens? She wakes up. Thanks God, it was a dream. She comes to know when she wakes up. Thanks God, it was a dream. Otherwise, at that time it was the reality, what she was experiencing at that time. Same thing happens in this world. This is world of creation. This dream of creation we are seeing, and we are passing through different things, different experiences. But this is a dream. One day we have to wake up. Wake up. This consciousness which we have, gross consciousness, we will have infinite consciousness, and you are here and now all the time. All the time. You are always in paradise, and that paradise is within you. Tomorrow I will tell about paradise also. Now, you are satisfied with the answer? Very good, I am very happy. And team, are you satisfied now?
I think so. I think so.
I
Yes.
think,
Yeah.
no, that is doubtful.
Yeah, I know I'll wake up, but this dream, has it great importance as a lesson in terms of this queen that's,
Just it is, I give an example.
yeah,
But it happens.
Yeah.
You see the different dreams.
yeah,
In this dream, they are the dreams in a dream.
yeah,
This long dream, in long dream there are innumerable dreams.
yeah,
And we pass through the dream after another, one dream after another dream.
yes, okay,
So it happens. Who knows, you might have been a queen. Or you may become a big queen sometimes. Who knows? Because,
Yeah.
this, you have to change.
Yeah.
The impressions go on changing.
yeah,
So according to that approach, we have to take the body.
yeah. Yes, I understand.
But now you have come to that one, of course, he will take you to the truth. So you have come to the path of truth, and you will enter into path of truth. So then you will not care whether you are a queen or you are just ordinary person. No. That love for God. That is the important thing. When I saw you today, I was really very happy to see you. Really good one.
I was
Really
happy,
good.
happy to see you too.
Now any other question?
Yes.
Now king is telling you something. What is that?
He said that you called me a big queen last October.
He called you?
No, he said that you called me a big queen last October.
Yes, now whether don't think that you call her queen and she will call you king. But small king. Big queen.
I have a question. Before you say that there's always the avatar, this is the last avatar, Meher Baba is the last avatar in this cycle, which means there were previous cycles before Zoroaster going back. Were there avatars before humanity existed on this planet? And were they on other planets? How, go ahead.
All people, of course, in this planet Earth. There are other planets too. There are 18,000 worlds where human beings are there. Human beings. But there is no spirituality. So they are very intellectual. When avatar comes, at that time, they take birth here, and that's why science progresses. So science progresses because those people from different planets, they take birth. You will not go to other planets because spirituality is always on earth. Earth is near the creation point. Creation point where the creation has taken place. So it is near the creation point, and that's why on earth, of course, always God comes in human form.
But if humanity doesn't exist, I don't know if you answered it. Or maybe
Mandali
it's
means
like-
not those people, just like Jesus had one disciple, Peter,
Right.
Mandali. So Peter, So not the same person, but one person would be like Peter, who will have the same character. Same character, not the same person, but same character. And on 31st January 1969, before Baba dropped his body, he said, "AH is my Peter." So, same character. Just like now, Mehra. Mehra, of course, Baba would say, "My Radha." When he was Krishna, she was my Radha. So not the same person, same personality, but the same character.
Okay. How many cycles of avatars have there been on this planet? Does Meher Baba say that? Or
Planet?
in existence?
Planet, of course, this planet we just see Earth. And of course, I tell you that God takes human form in this planet only, not in other planets.
Okay.
There is no spirituality, there is no perfect master, no saints in other planet, only on Earth. So he takes form here, and then of course here of course the spirituality is there. So wine and song you will find only on Earth. You don't find in other planet. Intellect of course fully developed. So now, just like you can say that when God is infinite, His shadow is also infinite, and in this infinite shadow there is innumerable worlds, innumerable. And out of those innumerable worlds, 18,000 worlds are there, where human beings are there. And all 7 kingdoms of consciousness, evolution of consciousness, stone, vegetable, worm, fish, bird, animal and human beings. So in 18,000 worlds, but in some worlds there is only stone, in some stone and vegetable, stone and vegetable, in some stone, vegetable and worm. So, but these 7 kingdoms you just find in this 18,000 world, and spirituality you will find only on Earth, not in other planets. There are seven worlds where of course which are near the creation point, and Earth is the first one. When Earth cools down, then second become one, and then out of this 18,000 worlds, one becomes 7th. So it goes on.
Okay. I have another question.
But yes. But is there no? But another question.
Well, it just seems that, throughout the history of this planet, we're only conscious, in an earthly sense, on the gross plane, we're only conscious of the avatars that have existed, going back to Zoroaster. What scientists have found is that life on this planet, the human form on this planet is maybe a couple 100,000 years old. So that means before Zoroaster, in other cycles, there were other avatars. So, but I haven't seen anything in writing about these other cycles.
Just see, now I was telling about this afternoon about Noah. I saw that film last year and I liked very much. Noah is shown that of course in the ship he takes human beings, animals, birds, all this. What is that? Really speaking, that is the thing. At that time, annihilation, but not partial, not whole, the total annihilation, but partial annihilation of the world. So partial annihilation, so whatever you just see the ship it is shown, so that was protected by Noah, and the rest of the world finished. So it is very, very difficult, even when total annihilation, when it took place, nobody knows, because here then after total annihilation, after many ages, then of course again creation begins. Now whatever consciousness you have, you are human being, human consciousness, so you will retain that consciousness. You will not lose that consciousness. The universal mind, every mind will be in universal mind. And all these forms, they will disappear. When annihilation takes place, all the forms, they disappear. They are not there. And then after a long time, when the creation takes place, then of course stone, vegetable, worm, fish, bird, animal, and when human form, then you come back again. You come back again. So this of course, how can you say that after nobody could understand, could know, that no scientist can find out the time when creation started, began. But even after annihilation, when the creation begins again, that time also, because when we are human beings, so time for us, we calculate the time and space. But then of course we calculate, but animal cannot calculate the time. It has no concern with the time. Then of course bird and fish, nothing. They have no consciousness. Mind is not developed in them. So only human beings. So it is no scientist can find, even the calculator, they have found out, but so many, again sophisticated, still cannot count the time. Cannot, it is impossible. Because it takes a long time. When human form comes, then only human consciousness is there, and time and space, they are in the picture. Otherwise, time and space are there, but no one can understand time and space. Animal cannot understand. Bird cannot understand. So it is impossible thing.
Now, as human beings, though, do we have these 8,400,000 lives? Are they on other planets, a lot of them? And then
Loudly, please.
we have 8,400,000 lives. Are most of those on other planets once we become human, or here, or how many?
They come down on Earth. They take birth on Earth, and then of course their development of heart begins. They not there, and it is not that you have to pass through 8,400,000. No. When you come in contact with the master, it is the question of a moment, or it takes ages. So it is not that everyone has to pass through 8,400,000. The journey becomes short. Journey that too in dream, it becomes short.
No.
You definitely, I tell you, you will not pass through 8,400,000.
8,300,000?
No. I said it takes only a moment or it takes ages. But you will not. Don't worry about it. He has taken you, accepted you. Now you are free. Don't think about that. Ira only knows. He knows. Will you take 8,400,000?
It's not my experience. It's not my experience now.
Yes. He does not think about all this. He has no worry about that. He will go beyond time and space.
Bhau,
All right.
did Baba ever say how long it would take for the sun to blow up?
Loudly.
Did Baba ever say how long it would take for the sun to blow up?
To grow up,
Blow up.
Sun, blow up.
We destroyed it.
Sun. How long this world will last before the sun blows up?
this question is a really good question. That what happens that we grow up, there are persons, of course, they are very smart persons. There are persons who do not know. There are persons, you just think that mad. They are mad. So mad persons are also there. But there are also another type of mad. Those who are God mad. So their life, they experience the inner world. So inner world, when they experience, so one day the time comes and then they become one with God. So then there is nothing can be said. It is a question of a moment or question of ages. You will become even one kiss and that is sufficient and you will get that consciousness of God. So it is not the question of time. Time is not there, no one can calculate that time. So you don't worry. When you grow up, if you are in love with him, so he will accept. He would always like children very much. So one day, there was children program, and only mothers were they were permitted to come along with the children. So they all came to see Baba, and children, of course, mischievous. So one woman, she had 5 children. They were just running here and there, and she was feeling very much embarrassed. When she came to Baba, Baba said, "How many children you have?" She says, 5 children, Baba. Are they very mischievous? Yes, Baba, very mischievous, just see they are running here and there. So Baba says, "Do you feel embarrassed?" Yes, Baba, I feel very much embarrassed. Baba says, 5 children and you feel embarrassed. And I have got innumerable children and they are all very mischievous. All very mischievous. So how embarrassed I must be feeling. So we are all his children. So I'm mischievous, but then of course he is the compassionate father. He will look after.
It's getting late now. It's past your time.
But nobody
I don't know
told me
why.
about that.
I don't know why.
Huh?
Now I did get 5 fingers. I wonder if you couldn't see because the lights.
I did not see.
Yeah.
Otherwise I would have stopped. Now I stop. Tomorrow is the about the father's son. Tomorrow we'll deal with that. You did not stop me.
Avatar, Baba, DJ.
No.
No.
Just wait. He came to Mehrabad and there was this program.
The whole world's going to know this story.
No, they don't know. So what happened, he was working there. Going means how many persons registered up till now, so he would give message to everyone there. The office is there, my office is separate. So one day, it was just evening time, and he was cycling bringing the message, and he was singing, Avatar Mehar Baba Ki Jai, Avatar. And what happens, he dashed against one stone and he fell down. When he fell down, so he did not care that he fell down, but he was looking there whether anyone saw him. And he felt that, oh, nobody could see me. And immediately he took the cycle and then he was just taking the round. And I said, oh, Talar mein Baba ki jai. He could understand that he fell down and I saw him. So yes,
You have the eyes.
yes, the same thing.
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. What, you want me to tell the story?
No, you have to sing like that.
Oh, I got it. It takes me a while. I woke up very early this morning. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. I got white man's rhythm, so it's tough. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Enough?
Enough.
All right, enough.
Where we ran into the sun.
There will be a short intermission. Jamie Newell's going to play some music.
Today we misunderstood.
No, I didn't. I just exactly right.